Illusions in motion.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, everyone? Come on in the room. Rosanna, I'm so glad you're here because I have a question for you. I see you, Robert Holman. He says, another grand rising. Praise the Lord, everybody. Deborah Johnson, good morning. She says, today is another day to live your best life. Yes, let's start living it. Regina Shorts, good morning to you. She says, good morning. Chardinia says, good morning, everyone. And good morning to you, Sunshine. Rosanna Bivens, good morning to you. And Shirley Nicholson, good morning to you. Y'all, we have a show today. I'm going to get as much as I can. This is Town Hall Thursday. But the news is on and popping. So we got to cover that as well. But hey, before we jump into everything, I want to ask you all this question. What are your plans for the weekend? What are your plans for the weekend? I will start. It's like my children are starting to have friends who are either getting married or having children. And so I am attending a wedding this weekend. I'm so excited. If you want to see what I'm wearing, all that's already in my closet. And I can't decide which shoe yet. So both shoes may have to go with me until I get there. But everything's on my Facebook page. The dress, the black shoe, the green or teal or aqua or blue shoe that people are calling it. So good morning, Latrice Jones. Good morning. Good morning to you. So what are you all doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend again? I'm headed to a wedding. This young lady, my daughter, and the two of them grew up together. And so it's so exciting. I call all my daughter's friends my adopted daughters and children, and they enjoy that. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing red lipstick today, because I'm a rebel. We're going to talk about rebel rising today. We sure are. Latrice, you want to stick around for this? Deborah says, wear the green shoes. Listen, they're green. Well, some say they're green. Some say they're teal. Some say they're aqua, whatever. I'm still deciding because there's a lot of people coming on my Facebook post saying to wear the black. So we're going to see. I may have to take both shoes with me. We're going to see. But I'm having fun with that. I'm having fun. And thank you to all of you who have made a comment. Marion Jackson, good morning to you. All right, y'all. We got a lot of news. And when I tell y'all a lot of news, we have a lot of news. Y'all, today is Town Hall Thursday. It is Town Hall Thursday. So none of y'all telling me what y'all doing this weekend. Like, what's up with that? Come on, y'all. This is the day that we talk back and forth to each other. Hello? We talk back and forth to each other. All right, y'all. As you're putting that in there, Rosanna says I will have my grand twins who help on the fourth Saturday at our church pantry. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. Isaac is attending his girlfriend's homecoming. Woo, woo. I need to see pictures. Rosanna's telling me to take both pair of shoes. Listen, I got to. Somebody asked me, well, have you bought the shoes yet? I said, listen, I'm not posting anything that's not already in my house. So, yes, I have all of it, and I'm keeping all of it, but it just depends on what I'm wearing with that particular dress. Deborah says, I'm going to the OSU game on Saturday. Have fun. Tell my friends that I made, I said hello. Tell my friends I said hello. All right, y'all, let's get to some of the news. Y'all can keep tagging in there. I would greatly appreciate it. Hello to all the audio listeners as well. I'm trying to be mindful to keep putting that out there. Y'all, I miss Isaiah. But I understand he's living a life. Shirley Nicholson says she's going to a reception. Latrice Jones says Saturday football too. Iowa versus Ohio State University. Go Hawks. There's going to be a fight in the chat. O-H-I-O. There we go. All right, y'all. So Town Hall Thursday. First off, y'all, President Biden deploys up to 1,000 soldiers to aid in Hurricane Helene's relief efforts as death toll surpasses 181 people. Now, in the matter of the election, I like that Marianne. She said she's going to rest. She ain't playing with y'all. She resting. Y'all, in the matter of the election, when you're thinking about Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina, as you all know, there's already shenanigans breaking out with the election with that. But now that we have the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, there are some serious concerns. They're needing help with poll workers. Some of those areas have been destroyed. They're trying to determine how they're going to get these absentee ballots out to people. Y'all, we are down to 32 days. They have a lot to strategize and figure out within just a few days, which many analysts and correspondents, they're saying, and election officials are saying, we just need to go ahead and have an online option. Like, let's start putting that in place now. We've had similar incidents previously with hurricanes. We have things like earthquakes or wildfires. We've had the pandemic. By now, we need to come into this century and have online voting. So there are a lot of advocates and protesters coming out about that now. So yeah, I want to reinforce Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. If this has happened in your area, you have to rearrange your vote plan. But you cannot wait. We're 32 days out. It's time for you to implement that now. So start thinking about that. You may need to go to your Secretary of State office or the Board of Election, or at least call them or go onto their website to see what changes are being made, to see if it's too late for you to get that absentee ballot, because that's what they're asking you all to do. They're saying to apply for this is Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. They're saying apply for your absentee ballot online or pick it up in person. But if you pick it up in person, know which location you need to go to. So you still may need to go online to find out this information. Y'all, please don't play around with that. Get that done. Don't think, well, we're 32 days out, it'll be all cleaned up. Maybe people who've lost their homes, or the homes are flooded, or they've been misplaced, or whatever it is, maybe they can no longer be a poll worker, an election poll worker. So those of you in those areas that you have a day that you can serve in that role, please consider doing that. There is a stipend that comes along with that. Y'all, also Bank of America customers. Y'all, the hacks are happening, okay? The hacks are happening. We saw it with Verizon. Now we're seeing it with Bank of America. Hey, what's up, Lori? Bank of America customers report account outages, some seeing balances of zero. The peak of the outage was around 1 p.m. on yesterday, according to Down Detector. Some customers reported problems accessing their accounts. Now, customers using Bank of America reported having trouble for several hours on Wednesdays. Most of the systems have been put back online, but there are still some customers saying they're still having a challenge with this. What's up, Davia? Still having a challenge with this. People complained that their account balances were not visible on the app, while others said they could access their accounts, but they were seeing a zero balance. So look, go contact your Bank of America, but you may be on hold for a little while. Be okay with that. Y'all, hacks are happening. Have a backup plan. Have a backup plan. Woo! Is this the October surprise? But before I get to, let me go here first, because we got a lot to talk about that. And I read all 165 pages. And when I tell y'all that is a best-selling novel, that's a bestseller. Listen, that's a bestseller. That Jack Smith is the bomb.com. But hold on. Y'all, Melania Trump, y'all get this. I want to say this first. Melania Trump advocates for abortion rights in her memoir. Say, what? What, is that why you're not out in public or something? Listen, the former First Lady Melania Trump says she supports a woman's right to have control over her own body in her upcoming memoir. This is according to The Guardian. Her stance is completely a stark contrast to that of her husband. Y'all, that report came in right before I came on the live stream. I said, what is happening? So maybe she just felt comfortable because Jack Smith done come out. Is this the October surprise? Y'all, Judge unseals special counsel Jack Smith's filing in former President Trump's federal 2020 election interference case. redacted briefs, and I read it. I was like guessing. Oh, this is so and so. C22 is so and so. C24 is so and so. I was like, who are these people and what's happening right now? But anyway, y'all, the redacted brief details argument why Trump's actions shouldn't be immune from criminal charges. Say what? CBS News reports in a new brief, prosecutors argued that Trump's conduct was private in nature and therefore not covered by immunity. Listen, y'all, that man been working on this for a while. He was like, oh no, I'm coming out with something else. So listen, y'all, I read this. I was like, what is happening? They reiterated the allegations against Trump and revealed new insights into mountains. And when I tell y'all they are mountains, woo, listen, you and I would be in prison. Okay, we would be in solitary confinement if you've done even a portion, even an ounce of what's in this brief. I was like, we would be in jail. We would be in solitary confinement. Let me keep going. Of evidence that they've collected over the course of the case. The filing described how Trump and his aides allegedly planned to challenge the election results far in advance of Election Day. When I tell y'all far in advance of Election Day, I mean far in advance. Like, they were planning this. Like, the whole last year, everybody was in office pretty much. I'm like, this is serious right here. This is some stuff right here. I almost said the other word. Y'all listen. And how they were going to pressure, because they knew that he was a moral, upstanding man. Now, I'm going to have to say this about this. Listen. Y'all say what y'all want to about Mike Pence. And I was there too, so I'm going to just go ahead and apologize now. He's going to be written in history as one of the greatest men of our lifetime. Okay? Y'all talking about a true Christian man. He was like, I ain't going to hell for you. He was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Y'all read the brief. Y'all 165 pages. Now it's redacted. And the only thing that's redacted are the names. That's the only thing that's redacted. Trust me, you can guess every name that's in there. I was like, okay, this is this person. This is this person. Yeah, all of it. Y'all, and I'm here for it. Y'all. So anyway, going on, it says, in one striking area, prosecutors said Trump replied when they said, and what they said was to Trump, rioters are closing in on Pence. His response, and somebody recorded it, said, so what? He didn't care. He didn't care. So when they told him that he was in danger at the Capitol, his response was, so what? Y'all say that's criminal. That's criminal. Like, what? Did you plan this? When the defendant lost the 2020 presidential election, he resorted to crimes. That's what Smith and his team wrote in the document. And it is clearly written in the document that he resorted to crimes. Yeah, this is like a TV. This is House of Cards. This is Blacklist. This is SWAT. This is all these things. This is FBI on Tuesday nights on CBS. No, I'm not an affiliate, but I'm just telling y'all what it is. I'm like, well, what is going on right now? And why isn't he in prison? Let me keep going. That's why he wants to win, y'all, because he knows if he loses, he out of here. The filing from Smith is divided into 4 parts. Now, it's 4 parts. The first part lays out the evidence, and Jack Smith and his team clearly lay that thing out, including information of the indictment against him. The second section details the legal issues surrounding presidential immunity, followed by the section that establishes that nothing the government intends to present to the jury is protected by presidential immunity. And when I tell y'all they tied that up, they have you ever gone, it's almost Christmas time, you ever gone to get a package wrapped? And it's like, how do they wrap it so beautifully? And you can't even see the tape. We get that when we think it's magic tape and it just like feeds into the color of the wrapping paper. And then they have the bow and you wonder how they can make that bow. Y'all, when I tell you they airtighted this thing right here, they wrapped it up so beautifully and with a gorgeous bow on top. And like said, here, Judge, here you go. So they did that, and then the final portion detailed that the government is asking the court to do, namely the rule that Trump must stand trial. Yeah, the names of the alleged co-conspirators, all the campaign staff, the White House officials, all of those names are redacted from the filing. But again, you can figure them out. You can figure them all out. I said, what is going on? So y'all, let's go to the document. How about that? This is what we're doing for Town Hall Thursday. But then I'm going to get to something else that we got to get to. So y'all, this is the I got it. This is the whole 165 page document. And it's redacted. I'm going to tell you it's redacted. But y'all, I told y'all about section 1, section 2. I told y'all what was in there. But y'all, here's the factual. They come out strong with the facts. What's up, Dr. Annette? Says when the defendant lost the 2020 presidential election, he resorted to crimes to try to stay in office. And they talked about the pro-conspirators. They talk about Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin as the target states. I was like, now they got target states. His efforts include lying to state officials in order to induce them to ignore true vote counts. Go back to what they're doing in Georgia. Manufacturing fraudulent electoral votes in the targeted states, attempting to enlist Vice President Michael R. Pence, they give his whole name, in the role of the president of the Senate to obstruct Congress certification of election by using the defendant's fraudulent electoral votes, and when all else had failed, on January 2021, directing an angry crowd of supporters to the United States Capitol to obstruct the congressional certification. Y'all, that's a whole thing right there. And so then they start like marking out people. I was like, oh, I know who this is, but I'm not going to say it here. But they talk about the details, the defendant work, the private attorneys, the co-conspirators, the political operatives, y'all, the private agents. Y'all, this is, I'm telling you, y'all, they even enlisted volunteers, like people who weren't even on the payroll. And then they talk about the skills they have behind that, which I go to January 6th. Okay, so that's the zip ties. That's how to go into places. That's having a blueprint of places. Y'all, this was orchestrated very well. Like, say what? This was orchestrated. They talk about the conduct set forth includes the defendant's formation of the conspiracies leading up to and immediately following the 2020 presidential election. They talk about formation of the conspiracy. Y'all, if y'all have never read anything before, you want to read this. Seriously, I'm not joking, y'all. Y'all want to read this. They even talk about how the ballots in the COVID-19 pandemic. Go back to something I said a few moments ago. They planned this for about a full year. Just want to throw that out there. So they redacted all this. So they give all this inaccurate information. I'm telling you, this is a bestseller right here. It goes on and on and on and on and on. 165 pages of this. That's what's happening here, y'all. I can't go through all of it. It's 165 pages. But I'm sitting there reading it thinking, well, what are we doing? And we're going to possibly allow this person back in office. And we already know that they're putting some wheels in motion now, which I want to say to all of you who are listening either live or watching or listening to the replay, that if you do not want to if you've never voted in your life, I'm asking you to vote this election cycle. If you are not a registered voter, register to vote. It is crucial that you register to vote. It has to be such a win for the other candidate that there's no questions. None. There's not one question, which means don't look at numbers and say, oh, she's up in the polls. Put that out of your mind. Those are polls. We saw what happened to Hillary Clinton. Now, if you're saying, well, Gail, why are you voting for Kamala Harris? Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm not voting for Donald Trump. He's a criminal, okay? He staged a coup, okay? He is let me just keep going, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is crazy. Now, we cannot be single issue voters in this election cycle. And I had a conversation with someone on yesterday, and I'm going to use this same analogy as I used with this person, who is a Christian woman. It was actually a husband and wife, Christian. And they're like, yeah, we just can't vote for Kamala Harris because we believe in life of people, life of babies. And I said, well, what about life of people? And they got quiet. And I said, I want to hear you all out. And then I'm going to respond, because they were questioning my integrity as a believer, as a Christian woman. Okay. And they were respectful, and I allowed it. I put it out here that what I'm doing and who I'm voting for. And I said, this is not the time to be a single issue voter. If you're listening to, this is Town Hall Thursday, I want y'all to hear my response to them, which had them say, I never thought of it that way. I said, let's say that was off the table. I said, let's just say that the abortion rights for women to choose was off the table. Who would you vote for? And they said, well, yeah, we would vote for her. Oh, okay. Well, let's put the issue back on the table. Who would you vote? Well, we just can't vote for her. We will vote for him because, and I said, how do you know that? I said, let's talk about how many times he has flip-flopped. And yesterday was a new flip-flop, okay? I said, let's talk about that. Can you believe this person? I said, the person who said that the election was stolen from him, where everything points to that it was not. Can you vote for that person? And because they're Christians, I had to go there. I said, let's talk about lies in the Bible. Can you look that up for me? And they looked it up and they said, okay, he's a liar. So we're going to ignore the fact that he's a liar because of a single issue? And they're like, okay. I said, okay, let's talk about relationships. How many wives has he had? I said, let's go there. Are you okay with that? I said, this is not the time to be a single issue voter. I said, we can deal with that later. And your rights are your rights. Your bedroom, your thoughts, your womb, all of that. Those are your rights. I got it. But are we going to put that in the hands of somebody who has obviously a lack of morals and values? And that was the way we had a real frank conversation. And I would encourage you to tell people this is not the time to be a single issue voter. And so they were still kind of like, okay, feel a little bit better. I said, no, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I said, but let's go here. I said, because as we're talking, breaking news just came through. Y'all, this broke on yesterday. Just then, on yesterday, this person says, Springfield is such a beautiful place. Have you seen what's happened to it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. He said, it's been overrun. You can't do that to people. They have to be removed. I said, as we are talking, I said, let's go to the scripture in the Bible, love thy neighbor as thyself. Is this loving your neighbor? Let's talk about that. And he says, absolutely, I would revoke the TPS and I bring them back to their country. CNN did a report and he said they got a full quote from him. He says, you have to remove the people and you have to bring them back to their own country. They are, in my opinion, they're not legal. He goes on to say, absolutely, I will revoke it and bring them back to their country. And they were talking about, despite the Haitians in Springfield receiving death threats and Trump facing pushback over the false pet eating claims, this is from CNN and Washington Post, even the governor had to kind of, like, we need to stop this. This was yesterday, y'all. This is yesterday. Donald J. Trump doubled down on his claims and said he would remove them on January 20th, 2025. We got to talk about it. You cannot be a single issue voter because we have other things that are in here that we need to talk about. So let's get to this town hall meeting, then we're out of here, I promise you. Okay, so going beyond a single issue in a voting cycle, y'all, we have to identify core values. Now, I need y'all to talk back to me. And that's reflecting on what values are important to you, such as equality, justice, economic opportunity, healthcare, and climate action. Aligning with multiple values rather than one issue expands our view of the candidates. I eat, walk, live this. Okay, so this is town hall meeting. Rosanna Bivens, I think you're still on here. Latrice Jones, I think you're still on here. I don't know if Kenny Stanley's on here. He's back in class. Dr. Annette's on here. So listen, when I was growing up, y'all don't know this. Y'all probably know by now I'm a rebel. Okay, but when I was in high school, I cut class all the time. Seriously, I did. But y'all talk about Colin Kaepernick, who took a knee on the Star Spangled Banner. When East High School was in, and Rosanna, you'll remember this, when East High School was in the city tournaments, basketball tournaments, when I was in school, this was 1982. As the captain of the cheerleading squad, I said, we not doing formation for this, because there's something that happened in the school system, and it was against Black and brown people. And I was the rebel, told my parents, I'm not doing this. Rosanna Bivens said, yeah, I did. I was like, she went to East High School. We went to school together. I said, we're not doing this. I got the entire basketball team on both teams and the cheerleaders not to stand for the Star Spangled Banner. We all got suspended. All of us on both sides. We all got suspended. I'm that rebel. I said, we're not doing this until they listen to us and hear us. Now, the principal, God rest his soul, he's gone, Mr. Willis. Rosanna, you know him, Mr. Willis. He called us into the office and he said, now you look, I'm going to have to suspend. I don't disagree with y'all. Suspend us. We don't care. We knew it going in, so we did like some in-school city. We cleaned up the school or whatever. Rosanna said, yes, indeed. That's what we did. I spearheaded that. Yo, I've been a rebel all my life when it comes to civic engagement. I've been a rebel. I would cut certain classes. I was not going to home economics, not doing it. No. That wasn't part of my testimony. That's not in my DNA. I don't do it at home. I'm not doing that. So why take that class? Seriously. And I advocated to get out the class. Like, for real. I don't know how you're going to pass me, but I'm not taking this. I'm not. My parents will tell you that's who I am. So you have to identify your core values as to what you're going to do. I'm a rebel, y'all. I'm a rebel. Last August 2023, when I told y'all that break, got back to my freedom. I had allowed people to suppress my freedom at that time, well, before then, pastor's wife, well, you married to Dr. Dudley and whatever. I don't care. He lives his life. I live my life. We live happily together, but we're individual people. We have to be okay with that. I had to give all of that up because that was suffocating me. That was minimizing who I am as a person. Y'all, this is also the inspirational message, so don't miss it. So when you talk about voting and civic engagement, it's all a part of it. So you have to identify your core values. Who am I as a person? Who aligns best with me? We got to get beyond the single issue. Dr. Annette Jackson said, I took wood and metal shop. I was always hanging out down there because I wanted to learn something. I wanted to see how everything worked together. In my science class, y'all gonna laugh at this. My teacher said, you're either going to dissect this frog, Gail, or get an F. I'll take that L. I'm not dissecting a frog. But because I have the gift of speaking, in that speaking, I may not pronounce everything right, but I can engage an audience, okay? I'm not minimizing it. I can, okay? And that's another thinking that we have to have about ourselves. So I sat down with the teacher. I said, okay, listen, I'm not doing that. I'll take the L, whatever. But why not allow me to write a paper on somebody else doing it? I don't know how I got that down, but not only was I able to do that, but other people in the class who didn't want to do it said, we're going to do what Gail's doing. And he said, all right, y'all do what y'all want to. I don't think anybody dissected a frog that year because we weren't doing it. And it took me, I was like negotiating. This is what I'm not going to do. Identify your core values. Number 2, research multiple policy areas. Explore the candidates' job positions across variety of issues, including healthcare, education, migration, foreign policy, environmental, atmosphere, the climate change, and the economy. Understanding their broader platform. Y'all, you gotta do your research. Stop just voting for somebody because their name sounds good or you remember their name. Or they have the same gender identification as you have. We gotta get beyond that, y'all. Consider the bigger picture. Recognize that the president's decisions impact numerous aspects of life. One policy change may have a ripple effect on other issues like job creation, healthcare access, and global relations. Y'all, I study this. I'm telling y'all, I eat, sleep, and walk this all day long. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not trying to mislead you. You cannot be a single issue voter. You can't. Not this election cycle. You can't. Engage in diverse media. It pains me to watch Fox News, but I have to watch Fox News to understand what's being said and how then when I come in contact with people that I know that's all they watch, how I can respond. So y'all engage in diverse media, read, watch, and listen to different news outlets and perspectives to understand a variety of viewpoints. And you gotta pray for protection of your heart and mind. You have to attend candidate forums and town hall meetings, y'all. Attend and watch debates. You know, that was the most boring debate on Tuesday, but I couldn't turn it off because I was sitting there like, this man is lying like a rug, like for real, like, and he does it beautifully. He's an excellent debater, seriously. But Tim Wall still came with points and facts and all of that came along with it. When you attend a candidate forum or town hall, this allows you to assess their positions beyond campaign ads. Y'all, I've been saying that to y'all for 4 years. Get beyond the sound bites. Get beyond the sound bites. Join community discussions. Engage in conversations. Don't be afraid. Now, don't argue. I ain't arguing with you. Like yesterday when I had that conversation with that couple, I didn't argue with them. I said, okay, show me proof. Show me evidence. Show me what you're talking about. Here's Project 2025. And they were like, well, you know, that's just too much. We're not reading it. Well, I'm going to go to the section for you and read it for you. And they said, well, they said that Tim Walz lied about a registry. I said, it is a registry. I said, maybe it's the wrong word to use, but they're going to document when you go to the OBGYN, when you go get an exam, when you go get prescriptions. I said, all of that data, it is a registry. I said, a registry, we're not talking about a wedding registry or bridal shower registry or baby shower registry. We're talking about a registry of data and information. I said, look up the word registry. They did, and they read that. And they said, oh. I said, y'all, reading is fundamental. I said, I'm not saying that as an insult. We have to read to understand, and don't take my words for it. So y'all evaluate the candidate's track record. Well, there's a big one right there. Evaluate the track record. Don't go by the spin. Don't go by what you read on social media. Go do your research and look this up for yourself. Look it up for yourself. The economy was not better under him. It wasn't. Look at the all-time highs and records of the S&P 500. Look at the all-time highs of NASDAQ. Look at the CPI report, the PPI report, the farm report, the job report. Those numbers, they can't make them up. Those numbers do not lie. Then go to the time he was in office and look at those numbers. They don't equal, y'all. They do not equal. So why believe him? Why believe him? Why believe them? Regina Shore says, I did not take home economics either. Actually, it was my mother who said they could not teach me how to cook for a black man. Well, there's that. I like that. I like that. So y'all evaluate the candidate's track record. Assess leadership qualities. Y'all consider the qualities such as integrity. That's a big one. Transparency. Now, all of them lie. If they're a politician, they lying. They lying about something. The ability to unite people across divides. A candidate's temperament. Think about the temperament alone. The leadership style. And their stance on issues as a whole. Understand the role of the president, you all. The president influences more than just individual issues. They impact the judiciary, executive orders, appointments, international diplomacy, and legislation. They select Supreme Court justices, okay? Y'all analyze party platforms. We all have, I'm in the middle. I done told you that a gazillion times. But I do have some conservative values, but I lean left. I'm a progressive. I like to see progression. I'm a progressive. I can't say I'm liberal. I may have some liberal in some of that in me, but not much. So I'm if you go in behind me at the election ballot box, you would hear me say this. When they say, you want Democrat or Republican? I say Democrat. But I'm really an independent. I really am, because I have a mind of my own. I don't like being boxed into anything. So analyze the party platforms. What do they stand for? Learn about down ballot candidates. Now, something I'm going to say that I don't normally say, but the past two elections and this one will be no different. I will be a down ballot voter. I will be. But usually I'm researching each candidate to say, is this the best person for this? Do they really have what it takes? And I'm still researching all of them. But from my research, I'm a down ballot voter this year. And then take time to reflect. Don't rush into a decision. Take time to read over and absorb all the information. Reflect on how it aligns with your values and morals, and avoid letting any single issue dominate your vote. I want to just yell that from the rooftop. And I get it, people. I get it. But let me tell you what I think about life. Life is also after the birth of the baby. Life is a 90-year-old white male or black male or Asian male or Filipino male, just a male, a person. Life is that transgendered person. Life is that person who is struggling every day. Life is healthcare. Life is socioeconomics. Life is education. Life is everything. All of those things are on the ballot. So if you believe in life, do life all the way through. All the way through. All the way through. I get it. I may lose some followers. See you. Been nice hanging out with you. Love you. Have a great life. I may get some hate mail. Kim Edmondson's taught me how to hit the delete button. I get it. But I'm also saying to you, read Project 2025. We've sent that out many times in the Friday Rundown. Read this latest. Oh my gosh. This latest Jack Smith filing. You would be appalled. If you have any values or morals, you will read that and say what? The inspirational message is this. Become aware. God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So we can't be afraid in this season. We have to love. We have to access and tap into our power. And we have to operate with a sound mind. That's really all I have today when it comes to the inspirational message. Love, access the power you've been given, and operate in a sound mind. All right, y'all. Y'all have had me all week. Hopefully, y'all had a good time on News and Motion this week. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember to make some bold moves. As you're out talking and working around with people this weekend, have that conversation. Don't be afraid to have the conversation about the elections and just don't argue. Don't become angry. Just have the conversations. Just have the conversations, y'all. That was a whole lot we shared today. If you do not receive the Friday Rundown, it's not too late. It comes out tomorrow, 8:25 a.m. It's free, 8:25 a.m. Eastern Time. It is free. You just have to go to my website, which is gaildudley.com. A pop-up box will come up. You just enter your information in there, and then you'll be on that rotation. It comes out most Fridays. Scroll through and decide what you want from it, what you do not want from it. I usually put Project 2025 in there. I did not put that in there this time. But there's the statistics I said I was going to share with you about breast cancer statistics, that's in there. The presentation from yesterday, the PDF is in there. There's some other stuff in there. There's a great book recommendation from Pastor Denise Carpenter. Her book, Going Beyond, I believe is the title. There's a link to look more into that is in there. It's just filled with different things. So scroll, take what you want from it. The rest, just delete and keep going. But y'all, until next week, I am Gail Dudley. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And again, stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
Motion.